Voice. Hey, I just wanted to come on for a little bit and talk to you today about something that I was listening to this week. As you know, I listen to podcasts all the time, and I was listening to a business podcast about from just a well-known blogger and podcaster, and he was talking about going all in, and that just sort of sparked my enthusiasm, and it got me thinking this week how much I'm going all in, whether it's with my singing or with my business or just in general with life. Am I really doing things to the best of my ability and putting myself out there? So I just wanted to take a moment and talk to you all about this. I was so kind of inspired by this podcast that I wrote a blog post about it and really was just encouraged and inspired. So I came up with my own list of things that sort of help me in my process of going all in and making sure that that is just what I'm doing. I'm just going to check really quickly. I'm looking over here. It's my laptop. I want to make sure that I am... you guys can hear me. I've got a new little, yep, you guys can hear me. I have a new little, you can't see it, but I have a new little mic that I've been using, and I just wanted to test it out here. So anyway, going all in. I want to ask you that question. Are you going all in with your singing? And, I just wanted to kind of find that out from you all. First of all, are you training with a professional coach? If you have been doing that, are you working on your voice on a daily basis? What are you doing? What strategies are you taking to make sure that you're progressing forward and not just sitting still and not going anywhere? So I just wanted to kind of talk to you, and I'm looking because I have so much I want to say about this that I don't want to miss something, and sometimes I tend to get talking and I just miss what I really want to say. So if you're not going all in, but you love to sing, whether it's professionally or recreationally, what is holding you back? What is causing you to not go all in? Obviously, if you are someone who is on here, on this Facebook page community, you are someone who either is interested in singing, or you do sing, or you would like to sing. So what is holding you back from pursuing it? There are a few things I think that hold most people back. One is finances. That's a big factor for a lot of people. Another thing is just life. I mean, come on. We have so much stuff going on that, whether it's a job that takes up all of our time, or we have kids, or, we're maybe in school and we're trying to pursue a profession that actually pays the bills. And we're just trying to get through life. Maybe we have a sick parent we're dealing with. Perhaps we've moved to a new place and we're trying to adjust there. There are all kinds of reasons why you might be putting singing on the back burner. And I just think it's important to take a look at those reasons and say, okay, are these reasons important? And probably most likely they are. For me, I have 3 young kids, and I'll get to that in a minute, but it's really hard for me to find time to sing and to use my voice. So I totally get it. If you say, gosh, I've got so much going on and I can't do it. I totally get that. Sickness happens. We have there's a plethora of things. I could go on and on about the things that could keep you from it. Another thing that I know for myself is just getting stuck but getting stuck with finding the right teacher That was always an issue for me. I struggled with finding a teacher that really could help me get the progress that I needed to get in my voice. And another thing is, just being disciplined. I know for myself, I'm really driven and I'm really motivated and I'm very creative, but I am easily distracted. And I don't just love to sing. I love to create things. I love to cook. I am interested in world news and politics, and I'm also a Christian who likes to pursue that side of myself as well. And anytime we are pursuing, I don't want to say getting better at, but anytime we are learning and growing in an area of our lives, usually something else takes the back burner. And so for me, I sort of have to prioritize, okay, what am I going to focus on right now in my life? What's really important? So I know what all of those scenarios are like. So I want you to just realize that you're not alone if you have some obstacles that are keeping you out of singing. And I get approached by so many people, just as a side note, every week that say, you know, I love to sing, or I used to sing when I was such and such age, but now I haven't done it and I miss it, and it's just an important part of my life. And I can so relate to that. And that's one of the stories I wanted to share with you. I wanted to just also give you a little bit of background and a glimpse into my life as a singer. Sometimes I've been dedicated and driven and very passionate and didn't miss a beat, was constantly looking at music, constantly vocalizing, constantly wanting to learn new things, reading books, reading articles, taking lessons, coaching with people. It was all I would talk about. And then there were other times in my life where I just kind of coasted through life. I was in survival mode. I was trying to pay the bills. I was trying to find work. And you know, it's okay for that life stuff to get in the way and to, you know, cause our voices to go on the back burner. But it's also something that we just don't want to have happen for very long. It's natural. Life happens. We have to do things we have to do, but we just don't want to be in a place where we are having to make choices and putting it aside for so long that we don't do anything with it. I've seen over the years, over my 17 years of teaching private voice lessons, I've seen students come in to voice lessons and be really on fire and wanting to sing, as well as sort of drifting off and getting involved in other things and other activities. And that's certainly okay. I mean, I do that myself. But I also think it's super important to know, like, where is your passion? Where is your grounding? Where's your gift? I really think we have many gifts as singers. We are not just singers, we are people, we are humans who are creative and love to do all kinds of things, and so that's really important. But we also need to make sure we are doing things that feed us and feed our soul. For me, I found that when I put my voice on the shelf, so to speak, and I don't spend time honing that skill and, you know, even just sitting down and singing for pleasure. You don't always have to be working on your voice. You can just sit down and sing some songs. If I'm not doing that on a daily active basis, and I've been guilty lately of not doing that because I'm working a lot and I've got the kids, I start to feel a void. Do any of you feel that void when you have not sung in a while? I really feel like something is missing. So I wanted to share with you really quickly a little story, and I do have to look. I apologize. I hate scripted videos, but I do have to kind of keep on track, and so I'm not taking up too much of your time. I, for sure, feel like your voice. Hi, Angelica. You said yes. I know. Life is just hard, and it gets in the way. But here's the thing I want to drive home today. I really believe that if you have the desire to sing, and if you have the desire and you have the passion, and God has given you this voice, it's almost sinful. And I'm not saying sinful in the sense of, oh no, you're a sinner. It's almost a shame for yourself and the world not to hear you. And I don't want to get emotional here, because I have myself put my voice on the shelf for so many years and not taken myself seriously as a singer. And what I mean about seriously does not really have anything to do with whether you do it as a profession or not. Not everyone wants to go and sing as a profession, or they can. I never felt like that was the lifestyle for me. I tried it, I did it, but it was never really something that I just ached to pursue. I wanted to sing, but I don't necessarily want to be auditioning and going all over the place singing. It just was never my thing. But I do feel like we have a responsibility to use our voices. And if we've been given our voices and we've been given the love and ability to sing, we've got to use them. So I go back to that question today. I'm just going to share a little bit of my story of allowing myself to put my voice aside. I go into depth, by the way, with this story in my blog post that I'll share with you in the comments. But I'll just share a little bit about it with you today. I also, by the way, have a checklist for you in this blog post for you to download. And it's just something I created that I think would be a nice thing to put on your wall, just to kind of ask yourself every day, if you're really serious about singing, what am I doing to make this happen? So just to share a little story, I know how motivation comes in waves, and I'm reading this, guys, so just bear with me. This is from my blog post. I know how we can be so on fire to do something great and be the best we can be. I know how it feels to be inspired by another great singer and think, I could do this. I know how to be driven. I know that I want to achieve great things. I also know about the void of not singing all too well. After years of honing my technique, working steadily at my singing throughout my undergraduate degree in Kansas City, Missouri, I moved to Europe to pursue singing as a career. I mean, guys, I moved 7,000 miles away from my home. My family was there, my newborn niece, who I loved and hated to leave. I had a great job, I had a great car, I had a great place to live, and friends and family who knew and loved me. And I left all of that, and I worked hard to get to Europe because I knew it was something I needed to do in my career. It was something I needed to do for myself. I worked 3 jobs to pay off bills. I saved up money and I took myself to Europe on a Rotary scholarship. I applied. The Rotary scholarship application form was like this thick. It took me weeks to work on and apply for. It took me a lot of time and a lot of energy. And I turned it in and I was asked to interview, and I competed against some amazing applicants and was given a scholarship to go and study singing abroad in Europe. But once I got there, And this is the part that I have to really look at what I wrote, because it is, oh my gosh. I wanted this. I just want to make that clear. I wanted this so bad, and I was not slacking. I was not slacking in any sense of the word. But eventually, after months of auditioning, brutal criticism, trying to make it and survive in a foreign country, and being broke, even after I had the scholarship, and homesick, it just flat out wore me down. It paralyzed me. And initially, when I was there, I was driven, and I would practice religiously and never miss a moment to work on my music. I would work with vocal coaches and teachers. I would set up auditions, and I would just do everything I could. But it wore me down, and I found myself, without even realizing it, and that's the thing I want to kind of point out with you today, without even realizing it, I allowed myself to just put it on the back burner. I met my husband there, and I also, I met him at an American university in Vienna. And the job that I got at this university, I was not studying at the university. I was working there as a student affairs coordinator. It was all consuming. It was taking up all of my time. And I found myself working these 10-hour days, and then I was going home and spending time with my boyfriend. And so days turned into weeks, and weeks turned into months, and all of a sudden I started wondering, what's wrong with me? I don't feel right. I was starting to feel, I was happy. I was in a good place. I had my work permit. I had my residency permit. I had a great boyfriend, great job. I had friends. I had a community of people around me, but I was not doing what I went to Vienna to do. And that was to sing. I felt like singing had let me down. I feel like the pursuit of it had let me down. And so I just stopped. It hurt. It was struggle, and I didn't like it anymore. I didn't like the struggle. But it still was something I wanted to do. So I say that all to say I got out of the habit of singing. And when you get out of the habit of singing, it's kind of like getting out of the habit of working out, or getting out of the habit of eating healthy, or getting out of the habit of praying, or anything else that we do that we have to discipline and train ourselves to do. So I know how it feels to have legitimate life reasons why we would put our voices aside and not work on them. And like I said, it most recently happened to me over the last 8 years of having 3 children. And yes, 3. And I've been tired. I mean, this is the first time I have an 8-year-old, a 6-year-old, and a 3-year-old. And this is the first time in 8 years that I have not had a little baby. My 3-year-old, I still consider her to be a little baby, but she's not. She's getting older. And I have more time on my hands now that she's more independent. But this is the first time, guys, in a long time that I have had time that I can actually pursue some things that are important for me. And I thought I was okay with that for a while. I enjoyed singing, but I was okay with just doing the mother thing and just diving in. But I did, like I did a few years ago, finally get to a place, excuse me, my nose is itching, finally get to a place where I realized, hey, wait a minute. This is what I was meant to do, and I need to do it. So even if it's just a gradual step back in, I need to make this happen. I can't avoid situations any longer where I'm putting myself out there and singing. So like I said, I wrote a little blog post over on my website at www.revealmyvoice.com. Excuse me, and I'm going to share the link in the comments so you can read it. And I hope you go over there, and I just hope you can, first of all, just get something out of it. I hope that sharing my story helps you. And I also would just ask for you to share this live video and perhaps share this post with other people that you know who might also be sort of on the fence, or maybe wishing they could put more time and effort into their singing, but they're not. And share this with them, because I hope it's an inspiration. I hope my story of putting my voice aside and doing other things is hopefully an encouragement for you that you can get back on track. You can begin again. And I also, within this blog post, have a little checklist that is all the 8 strategies, proven strategies, that you can use for yourself to go all in your singing. Whether, again, we're not even talking about professional singers, although you might be one. We're talking about professional and recreational singers. But 8 proven strategies for you to go all in your singing on a list that you can download and print. And also, when you do this, you will get signed up for 8 emails from me that goes into each one of these things in great detail. So I hope you'll go over there. I hope you'll read it, and I hope that you will comment and share with me. I would love to hear, just even right now on this post and even over on the blog post, what things have kept you from going all in, and what steps you feel like you personally need to make this year in order to get back on track with your singing. So I would love for you to share those things with me if you're watching here today, and even if you watched the recorded version, please share with me. I read all of my comments, and I love to just see what people are saying. Also share on the blog post and comment there, and just tell me what it is you are doing to go all in, or what is it that's holding you back. So I hope you'll do that today. Thank you so much for watching and joining me here. I love sharing this sort of information that inspires me, and I just hope that somehow it inspires you too. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.